Hey folks, Alan Mandic, the Hot Rod Hippie here. This is my dad's garage and that's his 1965 GMC pickup truck. We are here working on this project, getting this thing rolling down the road sooner rather than later. And I'm gonna be filming a whole lot of projects for you folks based around this truck. Today, however, we need to start in on this project, assess this project, plan things out, and that's what this video is gonna be about. I'm gonna show you what I think is the best $15 you can spend on any of your metalworking or automotive projects. Let's go ahead and head over to the store and pick up what I'm talking about. Now I know what you're thinking, a whiteboard, really? That's quite the cop-out. But seriously, it is so important to have a game plan and to plan out your projects, assess what you need to be doing, and keep track of it. I've harped on that before on this channel and I will continue to do so. A well planned out project can be the entire difference between a poorly executed one and one that just goes smoothly. That's definitely what we're talking about here. Having a whiteboard like this allows me to go ahead and track what it is that needs to be done, allows me to work with other people so they can see what's happening, maybe see a task that they can do themselves and take care of while I'm working on something else, and allows me to check things off while I'm working so that I can go ahead and control the project and see that it's moving forward. Some of those times when you get to the point on a project where you start to get worn down and you're like, I can't keep doing this, I'm banging my head against the wall, being able to check something off of that list is a boost to your morale and keep the project moving forward and keep it going smoothly. For the foreseeable future, there's gonna be a lot of projects to do on this truck that you folks are gonna come along for the ride on. I'm gonna have things like plumbing an entire fuel system and air ride with stainless steel lines, hard lines, AN fittings supplied by the folks at Red Horse Performance. We're gonna be wiring up the entire body with an American Auto wire harness. We're gonna be wiring up the engine with a PSI conversions wiring harness that's gonna allow me to mount the things where I want them. It's gonna be a clean job and I'm gonna show you how I do that. There's gonna be a lot for you folks to see. Fabrication-wise, we're gonna be doing door gaps. We're gonna be finishing up the inner fenders that I fabricated. A custom cold air intake. There's a lot to be done on this truck and you folks are coming along for the ride. Let's take a look around this truck and then we'll go ahead and look at the parts that are involved with a build like this. Now, along with planning the project, there's parts that are gonna be needed for a project like this. I talked about the wiring harness, I talked about the AN fittings. Those are all things we're gonna need to do this project. So I really find it also very important to keep an inventory, keep track of what parts you have so you're ready to go with a project like this. So very many times I have customers come to me with projects in the middle of being worked on. Maybe another shop started it, maybe they started it in their garage and now they need a professional to finish it, or they just don't have the time for it. But the thing is that very often they'll come to me with boxes and boxes of parts. The first thing that I do in those scenarios is I go ahead and I break down what parts they have. I break out boxes, I go through individual piece by piece, and I look at what there is there. I do this because that allows me to know what I have and what I'm still gonna need and not end up double ordering things. So many times customers come to me, I go through those parts and I find that they have like 3 right door handles because they forgot they had a right door handle, they saw it on sale and they ordered another one. Now what are they gonna do? They have extra door handles to sell at a yard sale. They wasted money there. That's the kind of stuff that's gonna happen in a project if you don't keep track of what it is you have and what it is you need. That's what I'm doing here. I'm going through all the parts bit by bit, box by box, consolidating things into boxes, say all the AN fittings into one box, all the stuff associated with the air ride suspension into another area, and I'm all organizing that on shelves so that I can keep track of where things are. So when I know it's time to work on the air ride, I know where to go to find what it is I need for that portion of the project. As I said, Red Horse Performance provided the fittings for this project. They're allowing us to plumb out this air ride and this fuel system with a full AN setup that I will be doing dedicated videos on to show you folks how I do stainless steel hardline AN fittings hands-on on a project. But as I'm doing that, I'm gonna go through. Boxes like this are extremely critical to catalog. There's a ton of fittings in this box. I've got a full packing list. I'm gonna sit down with the packing list and I'm gonna pull out fitting by fitting and mark off on the packing list exactly what I have. It's not unheard of for a packing list to be one fitting incorrect. When you have 100 pieces in one box, the idea is somebody accidentally grabbed one fitting when they meant to grab another. It happens. It's an honest mistake and human error, and that's gonna happen in any situation. But it's important to know that now. I go through this box, I check off the packing list, and I figure out exactly what I have so I can continue forward with the project and not have a problem later. I've had so many times in my career where I got to a point where I was ready to roll on a project. I had a day's work ahead of me, only to find out that I was missing one $5 AN fitting that just wouldn't allow me to continue the project at all. And that's what I would have to do. I have to check out and make sure that I have what I need for the project. Now, you're always going to run into situations where you thought one fitting would work, where you actually needed a different one. That is going to happen, and that's going to slow you down as well. But until you're actually putting things together, you can't know that. Best thing you can do is at least check what it is you have and keep track of it so you know that you have enough for your project, at least what you planned for your project. This is true of all kinds of stuff: screws, nuts, bolts, gaskets, fittings. All this stuff is important to a project, and the last thing you want to do is get to a certain point and realize that your entire project is held up for one $5 part you just didn't order that you probably should have ordered before, and if you had checked ahead of time, you would have known you were going to need it. All right, folks, I hope you found this video interesting. I know the concept of planning is a 4-letter word. It's boring to people, but it is so crucial when you're talking about a high-end project, a complex project, or even a simple project. Having a game plan about how you're gonna attack even a simple little dent repair is important. It does matter, and keeping track of the things will make your job easier. This video has been twofold. I wanted to actually express these concepts to you folks, show you what I'm talking about, that these are important factors in a build, and also introduce you to the fact that we're going to be working on the C10 project again. I've had a couple of videos about it before, but now we're going to have more dedicated videos around this project for you folks to check out in the very, very near future. In fact, I've already got a couple other ones filmed, ready to go. I just need to get this one out, and then you folks are gonna see some of the other stuff coming in the very near future. I hope you found this interesting. Go ahead and drop the video a like if you found it interesting. Please let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this project we're gonna be getting to? What do you think about planning your project? Have you run into situations where you wish you had a plan and you didn't set one for yourself, and now in hindsight, you wish you'd done that? Go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to keep up to date with all the HotRodHippie content. Thanks for coming around, folks.